Councillor Walsh's PEST team can currently only enforce verge parking where it is covered by an existing traffic regulation order, such as double yellow lines, or specific no waiting on verge or footway restrictions, such as in Old Dogsthorpe, Fletton Avenue and Garton End Road. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Heller. Councillor Murphy, do you have a supplement? Councillor Walsh, would you like to respond to the question from Councillor Davidson relating to laws around dog-related indictments?
Yeah, look, as they say, luck of the draw this time. Okay, yes, dog-on-dog attacks are clearly very distressing for anybody witnessing them and for the owners of the dogs involved. Any such incidents should be reported to the police or can be reported into the Prevention and Enforcement Service, at which point officers from the various agencies that comprise the PES team will discuss and agree the best course of action based on the individual circumstances, including the impact on the community. We are in the process of letting a new stray dog contract, which now includes new requirements to promote responsible dog ownership, as well as more overt enforcement of, for example, dog fouling. This contract will be managed as part of the Prevention and Enforcement Service. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Walsh. Councillor Davidson, do you have a supplementary question?
I do, Chair. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Walsh, for that response. Can you tell me how many incidents have been reported to the Peterborough City Council or to the veterinary practices or the police or the local dog warden? Thank you.
Councillor Walsh.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure specifically what number Councillor Davidson is referring to that she wants. Is this when people go on walks with their dogs? Is this, or is this over? I'm not really clear, so I'd really appreciate it if we refer this question in to the PES team and see what data they can come up with, and happy to supply that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Walsh. Very popular this evening. Councillor Holditch, would you like to respond to the question from Councillor Davidson relating to white goods?
Yes, indeed, Mr Mayor. And I do this in the absence of Councillor Elsey, who's the Cabinet member responsible for this. The WE facility at Dobson House forms part of the core waste and recycling service offered by Amy, and there is no change to the service offered as part of these discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Holditch. Councillor Davidson, do you have a supplementary question?
I do, Chair. Thank you. Thank you for the response, Councillor Holditch. My supplementary question is, what are the Council's plans for that refuse shop, reuse shop, sorry, even, and that helps people and families on benefits and low incomes to purchase white electrical equipment? Is Norse the new contractor, and when will they be taken over?
Councillor Holditch.
As it's not my portfolio, I will get the response in writing if that's okay with you, Mr Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Holditch. Are you happy with that, Councillor Davidson? You happy with that?
Can I ask the officer whether they actually got the question down? Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Saltmarsh. Councillor Davidson.
Thank you, Chair. On a whole, I think, following on from Councillor Saltmarsh, the licensing committee meeting with retrospect to this was quite a arduous document to determine and to fathom. But what I do feel is that Peterborough is probably not rolling it out quick enough as it is being done in London. So, but what I do identify is that the practices that were being implemented in this particular agenda with regard to licensing for the taxis, private and hackney cabs is some way going forward to be compliant, if you like. So, on the whole, I agree with the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davidson. Any other speakers? Sorry, Councillor Davidson.
Thank you, Chair. This goes back to the lottery question, implementation of Peterborough Lottery. Obviously, we're going to make a decision on this, but I'm not happy to support this. And the reason being for that is because It's because...
Councillor Davidson, no decision has been made, I'm advised.
Okay, well, I don't think it's acceptable for this authority to be conducting themselves like that. Thank you.
Councillor Davidson.
Thank you, Chair. Just a comment I'd like to make back to Councillor Walsh. I think she should give the general public far more credit than she's given account there. The general public has got a right to have a say and to find out what is going in the documents before any decisions are made on behalf of the general public.
Thank you, Councillor Davidson. Thank you, Councillor Davidson.
Thank you, Chair. Part of the Peterborough Greener Environmental Capital should be offering a range of projects that works with local people, and the influx of traffic in the Fletton Keys area will see the traffic increase tenfold. We, the Lib Dems, would have accepted the original motion by Councillor Ferris. That said, if the Labour Party have accepted the amended motion, perhaps we can still revisit the original brief, as Councillor Hiller has stated, for a footbridge, which would reinforce Peterborough being the greener environmental capital it states it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davidson.